Hey everyone, a huge welcome to all the American retirees joining us for today's explainer. Look, if you're watching your hard-earned retirement savings and kind of wondering how on earth to protect them against that creeping, invisible tax we call inflation, well, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're putting a magnifying glass on one of the oldest and most recognizable names in the precious metals industry, Blanchard and Company. We're going to look at their history, their fees, and their specific approach to gold IRAs to give you the ultimate balance sheet on their services.
Okay, let's dive right into this. When it comes to safeguarding your life savings, trust is literally everything. But here's the big question. Does a legacy name automatically mean it's the right fit for a modern retirement portfolio? Today, we're going to explore whether a company with decades of history, like Blanchard, is still your absolute best bet for protecting your wealth, or, well, if their traditional model might actually end up costing you a whole lot more in the long run.
Section 1. Meet Blanchard and Company.
So to really understand where Blanchard is today, we got to head down to New Orleans, Louisiana. These guys aren't some fly-by-night digital startup, right? They have a massive physical footprint. They were founded all the way back in 1975 by James Blanchard and Donald Doyle, meaning they've been operating for nearly half a century. And get this, in just recent years alone, they facilitated over $1 billion in transactions. That kind of longevity, it's incredibly rare. But here's a piece of history that might actually surprise you. Founder James Blanchard wasn't just a dealer. He was a pivotal figure who actively campaigned to legalize private gold ownership in the United States. This legal document from their work with the Gold Antitrust Action Committee proves that Blanchard didn't just sit on the sidelines and participate in the market. No, they actively helped write the rules that literally allow you to invest in a gold IRA today. How cool is that?
So, what exactly do they bring to the table for us? Well, they cover all the retirement essentials: gold, silver, platinum, and palladium bullion. Plus, of course, facilitating those absolutely critical gold IRA rollovers. But you know what their true differentiator is? Rare numismatic coins. They partner with John Albanese, who is an absolute legend in the space, having graded over 1 million coins in his lifetime, to ensure top-tier quality for collectors.
Section 2. Precious Metals and IRAs.
Now, while rare coins are fantastic for collectors, how do these metals actually fit into your specific retirement strategy? Well, while a lot of financial experts suggest keeping precious metals at around maybe 5 to 10% of your portfolio, Blanchard goes bolder, much bolder. They actually advise that up to 20% of your combined assets can be allocated to precious metals to act as a robust shield against severe economic downturns. But hey, remember, when it comes to retirement funds, the IRS predictably has some very strict rules. You can't just keep your tax-advantaged IRA metals stuffed in a shoebox at home, right? They absolutely must be in an IRS-approved facility. So Blanchard helps you navigate this regulatory maze by connecting you with specialized partners. We're talking places like Gold Star Trust for custodial duties and HSBC Bank in New York for super secure vault storage.
Section 3. Breaking down the fees.
So the crucial point is this. For American retirees planning for decades ahead, fees will literally make or break your strategy. Getting started with a Blanchard Gold IRA requires a fairly accessible minimum purchase of $10,000, plus a really modest $25 setup fee. But here is the catch. Their annual administration and storage fees are scaled. That means they aren't a flat rate. They are a percentage based entirely on the size of your account.
Let's put that into perspective for a second. The industry standard for modern gold IRAs is typically a flat fee model. That means you pay, say, $225 a year, whether you have $50,000 or $500,000 invested. Nice and predictable, right? But Blanchard's scaled fee usually hits around 0.8% annually. Think about that. If you're rolling over a massive 401k, a scaled fee means your costs grow right alongside your wealth, which silently erodes those larger retirement savings over time.
Section 4. Customer reviews and reputation.
Fees are really only half the story. What actually happens when you interact with them as a customer? Well, Blanchard holds an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, which is great. And a lot of reviews echo Matthew here, who praises their deeply consultative approach. Customers seem to really love that Blanchard focuses heavily on education and long-term wealth preservation rather than pushing high-pressure sales tactics.
However, this explainer wouldn't be complete without balancing the perspective. We have to look at the whole picture. Critical reviews, like this pretty harsh one from Ripoff Report, frequently point to the markups on rare coins, which can sometimes reach up to 29% or even more above the spot price of gold. Other complaints note occasional friction and a lack of support during order disputes or when people are trying to liquidate certain numismatic products.
Section 5.
Blanchard versus the competition.
Let's move to and see how this builds when we actually stack them up against a modern alternative built specifically for the retirement market. Take Goldco, for example. The contrast is pretty stark. Blanchard is a very traditional dealer relying on those scaled fees we talked about, with a lower $10,000 entry point. Goldco, on the other hand, founded in 2011, focuses almost entirely on streamlined gold IRAs with highly predictable flat fees. And yeah, while Goldco does require a higher $25,000 minimum, they frequently offset that with generous bonus silver promotions.
Section 6. Final verdict and free guide. So, let's sum up the final balance sheet for your retirement. The core takeaways are super clear. Blanchard is highly legitimate and obviously historically significant. Their rare coin expertise and buyback programs are honestly incredible. But for retirees, the cons are glaring. Those scaled fees, they severely punish large 401k rollovers. Collectibles carry high premiums, and their online setup feels a bit outdated. Ultimately, they're really best suited for smaller initial investments and true history buffs.
So I want you to look at your own portfolio size. Really look at your specific goals. Are you looking to collect beautiful pieces of history, or are you looking for the most cost-efficient, streamlined way to shield a massive nest egg from inflation? The data we've covered today shows that the answer to that question drastically changes which company you should actually choose.
Look, before you make any final decisions with your life savings, you absolutely need all the facts. To help you navigate this, we highly recommend claiming your free, source-derived Gold Investor Kit. It's designed specifically for American retirees to break down exactly how to set up a tax-advantaged gold IRA. Protect your wealth and claim your guide today. After all, if inflation continues to silently drain the purchasing power of the dollar, what is your retirement going to look like 10 years from now if you don't take action today?